Hey, welcome to episode 3 of Adopted Geordies. I'm Andy J. He's Asim Chowdhury, and we are delighted to say for the first time on this show, we are welcoming a new Adopted Geordie. We've got a special guest.
We have. It's Paul Forman! Hey!
Come on, this is the Adopted Geordies brought to you by BetMGM, and coming up on today's show, this. Which player would you choose to be?
Good question.
Wow, that's a really good question. Nile Ranger. She kissed me with a tongue first, and I remember.
And that's
very often Joe Linton and Bruno.
Oh,
come there.
no.
And he knows I'm a Newcastle fan. He's like, "Do you want to come and meet them?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Have you ever seen a Mackem in Milan?
That's an amazing introduction.
Well, that's what it is, mate. I mean, we did a show out in Tenerife called Stags, and it's where I first met Paul. But Paul, you are an official like us. You're an adopted Geordie.
I was so surprised to find out that you were a Newcastle fan.
I know.
I'm so used to being the only one.
That's what I remember you told me. You were like, mate, you a Newcastle fan? And and I thought that I'd hate you first because I was like, he's too good looking.
Oh.
He's got a six-pack. I saw you in the gym.
Did you know that?
I saw you in the
that's
gym. You were
okay.
working out, and I was like, oh,
I
God.
get that. Yeah.
And then, mate, I judged you. Can I just say that to you? I judged you. I thought a gorgeous-looking bastard in an amazing, cool, romantic show, and I'm this fat comedian. He's going to hate me. And then I was so wrong. And I have to apologize for that because I told you this. I judged you. You are the sweetest, funniest guy. And the fact that you're an adopted Geordie.
I know.
Brother.
Mate, it is
You know
the
what I mean?
bond,
I
isn't
appreciate
it?
that.
It's the thing. You can go
I
anywhere
still
in the
judge you,
world.
by the
You still, yeah.
If people realise you're black and white, it's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's
guess
what football's all about, isn't it?
it's the unity. So our
togetherness.
first question, obviously, Paul Forman, why are you an adopted Geordie?
You know, I'm not sure how to describe it, really. I heard you in episode 1 talk about being attracted to the colours because
Right.
you like the zebra. It must have been something similar, but from my earliest memories at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, I watched them on TV and I fell in love.
Right.
And I was like, "How are you, man? That's fucking mint." And I've been.
Your accent has changed
obsessed
slightly
since.
since
that was pretty good.
I'd love it if your whole childhood was just Castro Geordie.
It was.
Yeah. Wow.
So who was like, put the
What's the
timeline
era?
on
Oh
us
my
though.
God,
So
yeah.
who would you been
Still
watching
had,
then?
Shearer was still playing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
Jermaine Genius.
what, you're 30 now, right?
Yeah.
So that would have been Laurent Robert bangers.
Yeah.
Nice. You lived through the Bowyer
Stephen Taylor,
Dyer years.
Stephen
just signed him.
Yeah.
Or just came through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
And then
what I love this.
Luar.
Oh,
no,
so good they named him twice.
And his flips.
Oh my God. He was, on his day, he was the greatest player I've ever seen. And on his bad day, he was maybe the shittest player I've ever seen in my life.
absolutely.
Do you know there was no middle with Luar?
And that was the theme of the whole club.
yeah,
Really.
at that time.
Yeah. The ups were amazing, and the lows were very low.
Very low.
I've got to say, what
Very
I'm loving about this is you're the first adopted Geordie that I've met, other than my own children, who didn't find the club because of the entertainers. Because that was before you were born.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So
that was
you-
my era.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Because most people just go, well, Kevin Keegan and Ginola, and, you know.
yeah.
But actually, you
I
missed
such
that.
a It's so strange for me. My golden days that I can remember are it's like Alan Smith.
Oh my word!
Alan
From
Smith
striker
and,
to midfield.
Mark Viduka,
I tell you what.
Martins,
Oh
and
my
Michael
God.
Owen. That's the trio I think about.
Viduka, I always love Viduka because I relate to him. Viduka's like one of those players like who looks like he's playing in jeans. Tim's
100%.
heavy set.
Yes.
But on his day, mate, Viduk's.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
But you know what? I've got to say that says a lot about his character. Though, is if he fell in love with the club at that era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's
Like
what I
it-
was thinking.
No,
I mean,
golden generation. For
Wow.
me.
So you have a lot of trauma. You like trauma.
You're not a glory
Yeah,
hunter.
absolutely.
That's what it
He's
says.
He's
Not
the
a glory
opposite.
hunter.
What's the opposite of a glory hunter?
Oh,
Twat.
it's correct. It's the
You
right
like
answer.
you like pain. You're freaky.
Yes, very much.
You're a little
Yeah,
freaky.
Yeah. I'm
Poor
French,
freaky, but
you
he
know.
chill.
It was my French side.
That's what we. Okay, so that's a good question. So I still don't quite understand, even though I've known you now for probably nearly a year actually,
Yeah.
because it was so like. What are you? You French? So that's racist.
Wow.
What are you? We're
Wow.
English.
Do you like baguettes?
Brexit means
Enough is
Brexit.
enough.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
I'm
good job again.
half English, half French.
Okay, so you were born.
Yeah. I was born in London,
Right.
born and raised in London my whole life, but my mum's French and I went to French school in London.
Okay.
And you play a French man in Emily in Paris.
Yes, I do. And a French man in Stags.
And in Stags as well.
Yeah.
Which
Do you
was very...
exclusively play French men? Is that the niche?
At the moment, yeah.
Well, he doesn't play
it's been a
French,
lot of
man. He is a French man. He's not, you know.
doesn't
But
sound
I
like a
play
Frenchman.
You play up.
French, you know, I put on the accent and all the stereotypes.
Your French accent's very good. I mean, obviously, it's a similar thing to me. Like, I'm not born in Pakistan or India, but, you know, Chabadi G, I do, you know, you put that accent on.
Yeah.
And but also, here's a good question. Is there
If it's not a good question, then you've really embarrassed yourself.
No,
here's a shit question.
All right,
What's 1 + 3?
Okay, so like obviously my Chabadi accent is like a combination of like a Pakistani guy, but you know came to London when he's in his 20s or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's affected because it's a bit like you're Giza mate Wagwan. So it's like a bit confused, but actually it's very geographically accurate because a lot of people, as you know, a lot of Asian boys do speak like that.
Yeah.
Do you have an accent or have you done an accent which is like French affected but more like London?
Not like London, no.
Right.
But Emily in Paris, my French accent's very different to my Stags.
Yes.
Accent,
Yeah.
In the sense that it's more international. Because I went to an international school at the Lycée Français. We had kids who were French speaking from different countries, and that kind of creates this international accent.
I love the international accent.
Yeah,
because you have
yeah.
that with Indian accent. They're like, "Oh my God, darling,
Yes, exactly.
come over here, darling. We go to Starbucks," and you're like, "What the fuck is
there's
that?"
a bit of an American influence.
American. Also, they've got that UAE kind of vibe. That you know that.
Just
absolutely.
international.
Just international, darling.
With a flavour.
Rich, basically. Rich, privileged as fuck accent. I love it. I'm all for it.
While we're talking Emily in Paris, I mean, cards on the table. We aren't. We know we're not the target audience.
Obviously, my missus
Actually,
loves
you
it.
are.
Our respective wives. Are we? Are we? Okay, because our respective missuses, big fans of the
Love
shows,
it.
therefore it's been on in the house. You happen to date in real life your on-screen partner.
Lovely.
So I have two
She really
questions
is.
about this, right? So firstly, does this make you a method actor?
Well, shagging your co-star that makes you a method actor.
No, we whilst we were filming, we were friends. She was the most generous actress and just had the best energy. You met her.
Oh, she's lovely.
So lovely.
She's so cool.
We should name her. Her name's Ashley. In real life, her name's Ashley, and she's
lovely.
Mindy in the show. Is
Yes,
that
she
right?
plays Mindy.
Thank you. Great.
So she plays my girlfriend, and we were just friends. But our first kiss is what you saw on screen.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
And
well,
was it like? Did you go? Wow, do you know what? I'm gonna
that's
land a
the
little bit of
thing,
tongue on
yeah,
this.
I kind of beat myself up at the end of
Beat yourself
that
off.
scene.
Oh, sorry, that was after.
Afterwards.
She watched.
Yeah. The next day. But I beat myself up because I remember enjoying it a little too much and being like, Paul, that is so unprofessional. How could you? You're an actor, my gosh.
Don't buy it.
So right, hang
Don't
on.
buy that. So unprofessional.
Right, now I need to
Really,
quantify
I hated
this,
that
right?
because-
Listen, I'm just a viewer of on-screen excitement, right? So you're both professional actors. When we talk about a stage kiss, right? Obviously, that's what it's called, right? Stage kiss. You see some movies and whatnot where they've clearly been told to use the tongue, and it's disgusting to watch because you know it's massive open mouths and it's like. And I'm not talking porn here, but it's just like, what the hell's that going on? But if you're doing a real stage kiss, screen kiss, whatever it is, are you really not using tongue, or are you?
No, the rule. Usually you don't unless it's you've had a conversation with the director about it specifically, and because you want to add that. I don't know.
So what? You just have an open mouth and you're moving around.
So
Should I show you?
Yeah.
yes.
So wait,
yes,
Paul,
that's where this is going.
You didn't French kiss in Emily in Paris as a Frenchman.
She kissed me with the tongue first, and I remember.
And that's why you got
wow.
excited.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, I was expecting what? How? You weren't like, how dare you?
No,
You're like,
but
oh,
you have to
hello.
understand, this was the biggest job in my life at the time, and there was no way in hell that I was going to even risk anything with a fling or I came in with a really professional mentality.
What's the saying? Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah,
Is that the saying?
absolutely.
If it is,
Yeah,
don't,
I think it is.
don't shit
Yeah.
in your hands and clap. I've heard that one.
What does that mean?
I've heard that as well.
What does that mean?
I don't understand half of
you
English
get
expressions, to be honest.
you get
It's in vain. Don't shit in your hands and clap because you're just getting shit
spread it
everywhere.
everywhere.
You spread it.
Yeah.
So you're like, no, but what does it mean? Though?
I don't know, man. I've never
Because
done
don't
it.
shit where you eat. That makes literal sense. Like you eat with your job makes you eat. Don't shit there because things can get complicated.
Yeah.
That's the what's that one mean?
Have you ever eaten on
make
the
that
toilet
up.
though?
Didn't make
Have
it
you
up.
ever eaten on the toilet?
I could eat on the toilet because I have a Japanese toilet, which I think I've told you about. And
yes.
he's used before.
amazing.
That
Oh,
cleans
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
gives you a full MOT up there,
3000.
licks you out.
I did clap after that.
But okay, let me ask you a question though, Paul. So that's very interesting. And I wanted to and also I've only had a few on-screen kisses and they've been with like old women. Like comedy kisses.
Right. How old are we talking?
Like really old. Like mid-60s, late 60s. And it's like, it's in People Just Nothing. And it's like all the lads are like, yeah, go on. And then Shabani kisses this old bird. And she was really on it as well. She was like,
you wrote yourself.
I know. I tried to write it out. And they were like, no, it's really funny, Asim. And I was like, fine, I'll kiss the old woman. It was funny. But here's a question though, Paul. So I remember you told me this great story when we were in Tenerife filming Stags. And obviously, Emily in Paris is a fucking huge show. Like it's a juggernaut.
It's like always in the top 5
it's
Netflix
global,
shows. It's
like,
massive,
and
especially right now as well. You've just had the
premiere last night.
We had the premiere last night in Rome, and part 2 comes out tomorrow.
Oh, mate! So congratulations, 12th. And I thank you for. Also, let me just say, Paul came straight from the airport. He's hanging from the rap party, so that's love. So that's an adopted Geordie brother. We appreciate it. Here's a question though. So you told me this amazing story. I know, like Instagram and social media. We all people look at us and they think, oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. But can you tell us a story about how you almost quit acting and like how, you were at that moment and then, because I think that's an interesting thing for anyone aspiring to do anything in their life and how sometimes you need to be at the lowest to be like, fuck man. And then what made you, what was the break for you then?
You know what, for me, it was letting go a little bit that made the whole difference. I was obsessed with acting and I wanted it so much. And this isn't really on theme of this podcast, but it's to do with manifestation, how I never believed in manifestation because I always wanted something, right? And if I wanted it really, a lot, and I was picturing it all the time and all that, I thought, it would happen. Even if you do put in the work, and it just wasn't happening for me.
Right.
And that was incredibly painful and tough to deal with. So I had to let go and find enjoyment in other aspects of my life. And as soon as I did that, that's when I booked Emily in Paris. That's when things just changed for me. I really took a step back and enjoyed life for what it was, as opposed to being so hyper.
It's kind of gratitude as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
What I've got, I need to appreciate, because you can't see the wood from the trees sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't see how to get out of the mess you're in, and then suddenly it's just like, actually, shit, what I've got is, and it's sometimes realizing what other people haven't got.
Yeah.
It's sometimes realizing, actually, I think that this is my problem, but you know what? There's a kid over there that
he's really fucked up. All right, you mean like that? Yeah, sorry.
All right.
So that guy's a fucking loser. I'm killing it.
Yeah, killing it right now.
Oh, you didn't mean like, you meant more sincere vibes.
We were
talking about starving kids. Fucking hell, Andy. I should have just.
I brought it right down. Yeah, I tell you what, we have taken a massive number of turns that I wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to talk about your. I'm going to go back to your girlfriend, right? I'm going to go back to your girlfriend, if I may.
Yeah.
Because I'm fascinated with her. No, what I'm fascinated by is, well, she's an American, right? She's a very successful American actor.
Yeah.
Do I say actor these days or actress? I don't know.
I say actor.
Do you? Yeah. Right. I've been told that's the right thing. Okay, so she's an American actor.
Careful.
And obviously you guys have been together for a little while.
Yeah.
You are obsessed with Newcastle.
Yes.
Therefore, does she get it?
Absolutely.
Do you talk to her about this?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if we could FaceTime her and ask her who your favourite player is.
She's impressed right now, so we can't. But no, it's one of the best feelings as well when you kind of educate your partner on your club.
So she gets it, right?
Absolutely. She watches all the games with me.
Oh,
Even
really?
if she's in the States and I'm in London, and it's like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. at her time, she'll like tune in to watch the game.
Wow.
So she's an
amazing.
adopted Geordie as well.
She is,
that means you have done
and my
your
mission
job.
now is to take her to St. James's Park. I still haven't done that.
We could make that happen.
We could. Make that
I mean, Paul can make that happen as well. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean,
because we're not like a Make-A-Wish.
Paul's
What do you want, Paul? Little Paul,
My girlfriend to go to Newcastle, please.
you want to go? Why, man? He's doing the little Geordie accent. He's a kid.
It's coming back.
Oh, but that would be beautiful, man. If
Let's
we,
do it.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
We'd love
Let's
that.
make it happen.
We should
Yeah.
be so romantic as well. It'll be like, not Emily in Paris, but Paul in
St.
Well,
James's
St.
Park.
James's
Well,
Park. Has
Paul
got
in
the same
St.
ring
James's
to
Park.
it.
I mean, based on if we're riffing on Emily in Paris, then I do have a very serious question. Have you ever seen a Mackem in Milan?
Oh, never. Never seen a Mackem in Milan. People are getting triggered right now. Triggered. That's why. Okay, that's a nice little transition. Saint Maximin.
Oh,
David Ginola.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great French players.
Ben Arfa.
Ben Arfa.
Johan Gouffran.
Debussy eyes.
Yeah, there you
he
go.
fancies
we're not
food.
going to say Aubertin. We were,
Well, we can.
I mean,
we
he's-
can mention him.
He is French. He did play for the
Boomsong?
team.
yeah. Oh,
Jean-Alain Boomsong.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Again, it's good related. So, Paul Forman, you are obviously a French Londoner, or a London, I don't know how to describe it, but obviously you're a Newcastle fan.
Londoner.
Who is your favourite French player who played for Newcastle?
it has to be Cabaye.
Fair. It's a good shout. It's a great shout.
Loved
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabaye. I
Cabaye.
was so sad. I sang the Cabaye, my lover. Cabaye, my friend. Your hand be no one.
Man,
I used to sing,
technically,
don't sell goodbye.
Yeah.
Remember that?
yeah.
That
I was
desperate
it
plea
really
to our
upset
former
when he
owner,
left
who I
because
won't name.
he was just so techie. He was such a,
Unbelievable.
those kind of midfielders that could
So
pass,
clever.
shoot, clever, like could. Yeah, I think he's up there. So what?
He had a rough side to his game as well. You know, he was
Yeah, he was a
naughty. He
bit
had
of
an
a
edge.
shit.
Got away with a lot.
Yeah.
A lot that the ref missed.
Yeah.
He was a really mature player.
Yeah.
It
was
was
really
so
class.
weird watching him play for Palace. That was
I didn't
such a
like
bizarre-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when certain kits just don't fit.
Yeah.
The
That's
player,
how I
that-
felt when Ginola went to Spurs.
Yeah.
I was in mourning for
Yeah.
that. I was
Yeah.
devastated. Literally, I think it broke my teenage heart. I was
Because when you
gutted.
think of that kit, the one that Ginola, I think it was maybe the 97, 98.
Yeah, well, it was the riff on this.
It was
wasn't
this, right? And
Yeah.
he did it. Adidas did it. I mean, you think of him.
He's
Like,
true.
I don't think of him in a Tottenham kit. But yeah. Okay, so Cabaye is your all-time favourite Newcastle player. Now,
We had
can
so
we...
many good French players.
We had a lot of good French players.
We've had a lot of French players.
Can we quickly run by your...
Musa Sissoko, he was another one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He was really, apart from when he wanted to
He
leave.
was powerful.
He was.
He got grumpy
strong.
when he wanted out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. What?
Great
So
shout.
can you do a top 11 for us?
Yeah.
Because we did ours, so it would be nice to have another Adopted
Yeah.
Geordies. Now, don't.
Because we
there's no
haven't asked
pressure
you
here.
about Newcastle much.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this about best overall ability, or
Yeah.
because then I've got favourites like I think of I don't know, Habibay.
Right.
Habib Bey, I had a real soft spot for him.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Habib
soft
Bey.
spot, but I wouldn't put him
Yeah.
like he wasn't our best.
Didn't he
No,
you know,
but
defender.
you have a
but-
soft spot, yeah.
Yeah.
He ended up in Watford, didn't he? Habib Bey, I think. Somewhere like
remember
that.
But this is more like, say, we had to put out an 11 to face another great all-time 11.
Okay.
So like
So
we have
wait,
to.
okay.
I think we have to go for ability, right? Is that right?
No, I think it should
No?
be Paul's. Listen, it's
Okay.
Paul's choice, right?
It's your choice. It's Paul's choice.
Let's,
go.
I'll tell you,
You're right,
let's
you're right,
say
you're right.
let's say it's an 11 that you would like to manage, therefore train and hang out with as
That's
well.
a great question.
How's that?
Okay, you're the manager.
So attitude is
The
is
whole
important.
thing. So you also want to hang out with them.
Yeah,
you want to play
yeah.
table football with
Yeah.
them.
God.
You
Okay.
know the whole thing.
That's a good shout.
Because then
Yeah.
also we won't have too many people telling you off if you don't put Solano in the thing.
That's what
Okay,
we did.
we see
We
you.
fucked
Yeah.
up and we missed Solano,
totally
which is
did.
ridiculous.
I was listening to that and I was shocked that there wasn't Hatem Ben Arfa.
I know that's another one.
That
we
was,
missed.
I mean,
Me,
listen,
oh, yeah.
we should have named a subs bench. Then
Yeah.
we could have done a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Anyway,
So keeper.
I'm gonna go with Pope.
Nice.
I know.
I'm with that.
I know, given is legend, but Pope is just magnificent. He pulls off some saves that I don't feel are humanly possible. You know, where you're like,
Yeah.
how?
I think Pope is a good choice because he is such an advancement on what he's replacing.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when Dubravka came in, right? And he had that game, I think it was Man United, the first game he played, and he made all these saves. He was man of the match. He was brilliant. And it was because he was coming in for Carl Darlow.
Yeah.
Right? He was clearly a massive
I
upgrade.
shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. But no, but it was like something like, oh,
The
wow, we
punchline is Carl Darlow.
We've got a guy that's saving some shots, and he was.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm not having Dubravka knockers. He did great for us
Yeah.
for a while,
He did.
right? But
Yeah.
then Pope is
Dubravka
an
at his
obvious
prime was-
upgrade on
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
You know, we could upgrade on Pope at some point with someone who loves playing with his feet, etc. But I
That's
think
my
he
only
is,
thing, is I want a keeper who's a bit more comfortable with his feet. That's my only thing with Pope. Apart
It's
from
a
that, I love him.
confidence thing with him. 'Cause
It
do
is
you
a
remember,
confidence thing.
I personally think he's the best England goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think
But
he's- yeah.
his performance for England was a bit shaky. You can tell that he was nervous. He
Yeah.
never got forgiven for that. But watching him week in, week out, you know what he's capable of.
Of
great
course,
player.
yeah,
great
great
player.
shot stopper.
Yeah, so I'm going to go
Okay,
with Pope
Popey,
to
that's
start
strong.
with.
Where should we go? Right back, left back?
it's up to Paul.
Okay, what's
And
next?
what's your
Start
formation?
defense.
Because
Yeah, what
we
you-
got set in a formation, didn't
Yeah.
we?
I'm
That
gonna
you
do a
don't have
4-4-2.
to.
I'm
Do a
gonna keep it
4-4-2. I
classical.
think it's easiest, yeah. Okay.
Left back, I'm going to go a bit rogue. I'm going to say early Charles Nzogbia.
Oh my
Oh, we're
word.
playing him at
Hey,
left back.
yeah,
He
Zoggy-
could
Zoggy
start
at
in
the
there.
back. Yeah,
Something back.
Yeah. And then he
the man.
went out.
Didn't we buy
I
him
liked him in
twice?
Vlogvia.
Didn't he come back twice, or did we never get him
Maybe
back?
he did, actually.
I think he came back.
That is a good shout because
Yeah.
he was defensively, yeah. But I mean, as a wing back, he could get up and get back. You know, you get up and down.
He could put a cross in.
Watching him,
Put a
yeah.
cross
Yeah.
in. He could
Put a
whip
cross
a
in.
When he
cross
played
in.
with Milner, I think at the same time as well.
Right.
Combined,
Okay.
Oh, that takes it back. Milner, who's
Jeremy.
still playing.
Oh,
sorry.
Jeremy. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just a
Dear
game
me.
of logical
Yeah.
the
Wow.
players I can
Okay.
remember. from
Left
that
back. That's not a bad shout. Okay,
that's
go
good.
on. All right. Go. Keep going.
Colaccini has to be.
Okay,
your
yeah, of
centre
course,
back.
yeah.
And I think I'm going to say Stephen Taylor
Okay.
because he was the longest for his. He was one of the longest serving centre back we've had.
Loyal as fuck. And
Loyal, incredible
and
attitude.
one of the-
he was a leader.
and also that terrific, bit of which we'd appreciate the acting he did.
Yeah,
for
in
when
front
he,
of the keeper for the free kick.
when he got sniped basically, and he went down like
Yeah.
which is
Oh
iconic.
yeah.
I based my that's when I realised I wanted to be an actor.
That was what you said.
That's the
I
moment.
was watching Stephen Taylor. Did you see the unveiling video? He's like a manager somewhere.
Oh, really?
And did you see the unveiling video? There was this very strange. It's somewhere. I think it's in the UAE. I'll have to show it to you. It's this really weird video where you get all this fanfare. Like our new manager's an absolute legend, a legend of the game. He's done this, he's done this, and the other, and it's all like luxury taxis and stuff. You're seeing as the visuals,
Right.
and then out steps Stephen Taylor. It's exactly what you wouldn't expect,
Fucking
right?
hell.
And it's almost like Addison Lee meets, meets Maldini,
I didn't see
and
that.
here's Stephen Taylor.
Oh, amazing.
Very
Good for
sweet.
him.
That's
though.
bonkers. Yeah, good for him.
I think he'd be
absolutely.
a good manager.
I think so. He's got
yeah.
a good mentality.
He's got
hasn't
that
he? He's got
leadership
Okay.
quality.
aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
All right, right back.
Right back.
Looking good though.
Oh.
It's different.
It's different to ours, apart from Colaccini.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Really? I think it's.
Well,
I mean, the obvious.
The obvious is I want to say Trippier, but
Yeah.
it's been what 3 years, 3.
Oh, but I think he's personally. I think he's the
Look,
best.
we're interrupting his
Yeah,
11.
true,
man.
true,
It's-
true, true,
You know,
true, yeah.
you shouldn't
But
Yeah.
there's no.
you shouldn't judge until he's named someone.
Yeah.
Go on, peer pressure. I'll say Trippier. Look, I love Trippier. Adore him.
Mm-hmm. What's
He's
your issue with him?
fantastic. It's just it's not been long enough. I'm thinking of the
Okay.
players I'm thinking of. You know, I gave it to Stephen Taylor because he'd been around for
Yeah.
12, 13 years. You know.
That's
Right,
fair.
right,
That's a fair
right.
shout.
Yeah.
But don't
Trippier's
forget,
not
these
in
are
that.
people you want to manage. I think Trippier would
Yeah,
be great
Trippier
to
would be
manage.
Yeah.
You know, the leadership he brings on
Yeah.
the field,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
the
And when
standards he
comes
sets
on-
in training
Yeah.
as a manager. I'm going to
Even
be
this
like,
season, when he came on,
He's done well.
It's completely changed the game. It brings that calmness. It brings that.
It's that experience. I mean, he's done it
stability.
all.
a flag
hasn't he?
bearer.
Yeah,
He's done it all.
it's the right choice. It's the right shout. I know Asim bullied you into it, but
Bit of peer
Yeah,
pressure.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, midfield.
midfield, where
Oh,
you
here we
going?
go. This is the hardest bit. I think midfield is the hardest bit.
well, we know Kabai's in there because he loves it.
Well,
Kabai's in there.
Okay,
I'm
Cabaye
gonna-
in there,
I'm
okay.
going to put him with Bruno.
ooh,
Good shout. It's a good
Imagine them
shout.
together.
Yeah, they'd be
that would
amazing.
be.
Can I say
sick.
this? I just remembered.
Bruno and
A
Cabaye?
friend of mine owns this amazing bar in London, and it's Brazilian. And very often, Joe Linton and Bruno come there.
No.
And he knows I'm a Newcastle fan. He's like, "Do you want to come and meet them?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Did you
I
meet them?
turned into a little girl. I was so nervous that when it came to meeting them, they're like, "Hey, this is Bruno and this is Paul." I literally went. I pretended I didn't know them. Because I didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. I was just like, yeah.
You're right. What's your name, fella?
What? Is it Bruno Gomes?
No,
Father
you-
was a taxi driver? I can't.
I'll tell you what. I'll order you 39 pints. Hi, Paul. Fucking. You met them. So what?
And I pretend I didn't know them, and I regret it.
But wait, how did you not pretend to not know them? Like in a chill way, not in a like.
Yeah, no, in a
"You
chill
right,
way.
mate?"
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I was just. Yeah. I just played it so
Like they're
cool,
normal people,
but
right,
my
right.
hands have never been more sweaty in my life.
Wow. So Bruno felt a clammy
Worst,
Paul Forman hand.
handshake that he's ever had.
Wow. Really limp.
Yeah.
Was it limp?
Yeah, it was lip and shaking and yeah.
Wait, Joe Linton as well?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous. I'm
Wait,
jealous.
were they
so
wives? Sorry, I'm turning into a fanboy.
I know, that's what
But
they
I
do
would
to
be,
you.
Yeah, I would be. Yeah, because
Is it-
those
hang on,
two,
but they
mate.
go in there regularly, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, can we get in a WhatsApp group and just
We can talk.
maybe
we'll
we
talk.
could?
Yeah, don't reveal it, like. Don't be bait.
Yeah, we'll
I'd
talk
show up
after
in a
this,
magic
innit?
hat, mate. I'd be like full on Bruno.
I've actually met Bruno's dad before at St.
Love
James's
that.
Park. and
Oh,
yeah, I got a
that's
picture
cool.
with Bruno's dad,
That's
and
really
he's like a
cool.
celebrity in St.
Yeah,
James's
yeah,
Park.
yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was so sweet. I mean, I don't think he
bless
understood a word I was saying.
Yeah.
But I told him Uber. And I was like, you are like Uber here. Yeah?
He was like, no, I didn't order an Uber.
To me. It was very confusing and racist. We were both racist to each other, so it cancelled it out.
Okay.
Okay, we need. That's how it works. Yeah, we need to infiltrate this bar, Paul. Obviously, don't say the name on, but off camera. Let us know. We'll go there after when next time London game. We'll turn it to like some baby reindeer shit.
Yeah.
3 adopted baby reindeer Geordies. And we'll get on, mate. But amazing. I love that. Okay, so wait, Bruno.
Hello, Bruno.
Hello, Bruno. He hanged me curtains. Okay, Bruno Cabaye.
Bruno and Cabaye together would be lovely, wouldn't it?
That's a good combination. Okay, go on.
And then on the right, I'm going to go Ben Arthur. He was my favourite player.
Streets will never forget.
Oh my God.
French connection.
Yeah. I mean, when he was at the top of his game, if he was on form, the goals he'd produce.
Basically Messi. Yeah. Like prime Ben Arthur on his day, Messi.
Yeah.
He is Messi.
He had moments for sure.
Yeah.
He had moments where he was brilliant, but he also had incredibly frustrating. He was difficult to watch because he could make you feel so great, so fantastic about yourself that when he didn't, it would pee you off.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hang on, you can do it.
You can.
So just apply yourself.
Ability is.
Do you know how lucky you are to have your skill?
He was slightly selfish as well.
He was a greedy player.
He would never release the ball.
Yeah.
Even
He's like, he reminded
choice.
me of that guy that you play with when you were in school and they're sick. But also, like, they never pass the ball.
Yeah.
And, when they say, I had no options, so what's saying is like wallahi, I had no options, bro. I was right there. But it's annoying because, like you said, the ability they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he'd be a tough one to manage, though, I think.
He would be, but I reckon.
The little French connection, you get in there.
Yeah. Every manager thinks the same. And it doesn't go well.
Give him the little clammy handshake. What's your name, mate? Ben?
Yeah, keep the ball. Keep the ball.
Don't have to pass, mate. No, God-given ability.
So, I mean, that's a great shout. Hatem Ben Arfa, this is an interesting midfield. All right. And
left. Is he going to go French again? That's what I'm thinking. Because there's 2 options for French.
I know who you're thinking of, but I don't think I will.
Well, that was very French.
You can see the baguette.
Do you know what I was thinking? I'm not putting him in, but I just want to give a special shout out to Sammy Amiobi, who had a year or two where he had this dancing feet. He also had Messi-esque quality.
On his day.
Yeah.
On his
honestly.
day. Yeah.
I'm not putting him in though. I'm sorry. I'm not, but
no.
that's what I was
a
thinking
real wild.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
On the left.
It's curious. I mean, we've got Stephen Taylor in defence, so, you can't really say anything that shocking.
True. Paul's a fucking rogue, man.
Yeah. Adopted Geordies.
Adopted Geordies,
on the left, I want to put Charles Nzogby
again. He just
so you're having 2 double Nzogby. So you have a cloning machine.
You have a cloning machine
as manager.
I can't think of a left midfield that stands out for this particular starting 11.
Would you like us to give you a few ideas?
Gutierrez.
Jonas, I love Jonas.
What he did for the club, and when I have to say the club, at that time, that administration, they did not treat him well.
Yeah.
he got cancer.
When he had cancer, it was
and they
appalling.
released him. What did they do to him?
It was appalling. He was let me try and remember properly because he had to have chemotherapy, didn't he?
Yeah.
And there was this. I can't remember the exact story, and I don't want to say it and then get heralded for getting it really badly wrong, but there was lots of kind of noise that he wasn't being looked after. He wasn't being taken under the wing, and I think his contract was coming to an end, wasn't it? And there was no sort of, well, do you know what? We're going to extend anyway because you're brilliant. That's when do you remember he scored the goal that kept us up?
Yes.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And he had that celebration, which was very much aimed at management, was kind of like,
I'll never forget that.
Definitely a legend. And
love him.
Oh my, I just remember his stamina was probably his greatest. He would be running.
He was more defensive.
He would track back. He would make great runs that would open up other players. I remember when Jonas is playing, 100% effort.
Absolutely.
Not a bad shout. And justice for Jonas, I would say. He got done dirty.
I loved him. Do you know my only reservation about Jonas, and I loved him. I think, and as a human being, what a great guy. But he came with this reputation for when he scored, he pulled on a Spider-Man mask,
mask,
right?
yeah.
And you'd see all of this, and you'd YouTube it, and he's doing it.
did it a lot.
How many times did he do that for us? And he scored a few good goals for us. I mean, they said
think
he
the
had a sock. He had the mask in his
He
sock.
had it in his sock, yeah.
I mean,
Could it be that the Prem have, I don't know, tighter laws on that?
I think
or
that's.
something,
I
or-
think,
be that.
yeah, because
Could be
that
that.
is.
Has to be. You
That
don't
sounds
just-
like an old
I still
school.
wanted to see it though,
Yeah.
right? I still wanted to see
Yeah,
it.
it was
Yeah,
fucking
you know?
great.
Pay the fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's-
pay the fine.
Let's see it.
Exactly.
Mind you, I mean, if you go down that school of thought, you remember like before the season started, there was all this. We have to sell Anderson and Minter because of PSR. We can't spend massive money because of PSR because we might get a points deduction. And there were some people online going, "Take it,
Pay
take
the
the 12
fine.
points." Take
Yeah.
the 12-point
I'll take
hit,
12
right,
points.
and buy a load of players. Just sod it.
So wait, is that how it would have worked? Then we would have got
I don't
12
know.
points
I
deducted,
don't, that's
and
the
then
thing. I think it's easy
Then
to
bought
say
Mbappe.
it.
It's new territory, so
well,
it's...
that's
it's
the
new
thing, isn't it?
territory, it's new laws. It's like.
yeah.
You can't.
Oh,
you
mate.
sort of. There's part of you. There was some section of fans
It's
that
the
were just
ball.
kind of
That's
going.
like a
Do you know
baller
what?
shit, you
Spend
know
£1
what I mean?
billion on players.
That's flexing.
And just take the hit.
Yeah.
It was a minority.
They would have found
who
a way to
wanted
stop,
that.
though, wouldn't they?
Sorry to go off track a bit, but with PSR, it's the concept is great. Fully understand, and I don't think any real Newcastle fan wants us to buy Mbappe and Messi and blah blah blah. You know, the next day. I'm all for building up a process.
Yeah,
and-
I've been enjoying it the last time. I think it's been a great
The
journey.
restrictions are a little bit mad. The fact that Chelsea can sell themselves a hotel for 200 million. and,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
gets
inconsistent.
chalked
It's
off.
very
It's-
inconsistent.
United gave themselves a 40 million COVID relief fund.
Yeah.
where
When
other
everyone else
clubs
was
had
allowed
one
3
Really?
or something.
two,
Yeah,
You know,
nonsense.
it's just it doesn't add up.
I do feel like
needs to be
when the
fair all
Newcastle takeover happened, which obviously was a painstaking thing as well, I do feel like we did become a threat into
Absolutely.
the status quo, into that top 6,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh shit!" Like there was this panic, and I don't want to play victim. I don't want to be the pour me another drink kind of vibe. But I have felt a little bit hard done as a Newcastle fan. I'm not so like you said, Paul. I'm not expecting us to buy Mbappe, but for us to like do these little hustling things just so we can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Maxi would still be here if that was the case.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be on the bench,
Elliot
but
Anderson,
imagine bringing
I
Maxi
loved
on at
Elliot
70
Anderson.
minutes. Like, the defenders would be shitting themselves. And with Eddie Howe's coaching, Maxi's one of my favourite. He's one of those for me. I know you say he's a bit
You
more
love
than that.
Maxi.
I think he's
Yeah.
like Ben Arthur territory. Streets will never
I agree,
forget.
I agree.
But you actually said he's more than that.
I think he's more than that
Yeah.
because I think he saved us. As what I mean by that is
He's
I
so
don't
important for
mean in
us.
terms of points. I mean in terms of hope. Right?
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Don't forget
He
he was
changed
playing
games.
at a time.
Give it to Maxi. Steve Bruce.
Well, but not just that, right? If you imagine that team without Maxi in it,
Oh my
right?
God.
I mean, it was already hideously depressing. I mean, we were boring. We were morose. We were a horrible. And I'm not saying the lads that were playing for that
they
side
just weren't managed
didn't have
properly.
effort or
They weren't
anything.
training
It was
properly.
There it is.
John
There it
Linton
is.
was up front. 9 had no love. Like,
So there
no-
was, and football is about joy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There
There
was
was
no
no joy.
joy
It's
in that
depressing.
team except for Maxi, and that's my point. That's why he's more than Streets.
Right.
Won't forget. Because he actually gave us a reason to
Real
watch the
hope.
game.
Yeah.
You know, don't forget they had to give away 10,000 season tickets because nobody wanted to go to the team. You know, there was
It was dark times,
half-season tickets were buy one get one free type vibes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody was watching the team. We were on telly and the viewing numbers were right down. That's why we weren't getting picked for many games because we were that macabre of a watch.
Yeah.
But Maxi with his stepovers and his Gucci hairbands and his flair and his
Gucci
fashion.
Maxi, man.
And
I
the
love a
fact
bit
that
of
he
Maxi.
could beat
So
every
fast.
player and then all right, failed to cross it in, but he got you off your seat.
Yeah,
right.
no, absolutely.
He gave you a
changed
reason
games.
to
He changed
watch.
the tempo of games, and
Yeah.
we'd usually get a goal from that. It wouldn't necessarily be from him or his assist, but there'd be more confidence in the team because he'd
Very
come on.
exciting,
And,
It would be fabulous to watch, and that's the point. Is he actually saved a chapter in time, which is so bleak for us in terms of what was happening on the
nearly got
field. Never mind
relegated.
all the rest of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What was happening on the field was dross.
Mm.
We were a horrible to watch team. But when Maxi had the ball,
Yeah.
you'd put your phone down.
I'll be on the edge of my
You know?
seat every time
Exactly.
Maxi got on the ball. Every time. And I love those kind of players. All right, but we're sticking with Jonas for left.
Yeah, we are.
Front
Okay,
two.
so I like
Front
that.
two
He's
left.
see, Paul's very loyal.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
love
loyal
it.
guy.
It goes far. It goes far in football.
Yeah, man. All right, front two.
I'm going to combine.
Look, okay.
I'm hesitating between Demba Ba and Papa Cisse. I'm going to need to select one.
You could have
of
them both.
No, because
You can't,
I'll
you
see
know.
why.
God himself.
But I'm gonna.
It's strawberry syrup
tough,
or the
it's
scorer
tough.
of
Yeah,
worldies.
yeah. I'm going to say Denver Bar.
Okay.
Denver Bar.
More consistent.
Right.
More consistent, slightly
consistent.
longer. Cisse, obviously.
Wonder goal.
Yeah.
Best goal of all, in my opinion.
And didn't he? I think he had the best start of any.
Yep.
He had
Premier
an
League
incredible
player,
start. Yeah.
in history in the last like 50 years. Or
Yeah, he was
something.
amazing.
It was,
Yeah.
I loved him. But Denver Bar's a good shout. It's a good shout.
good shout.
Yeah,
Very
it
good
was
shout.
gutting when he went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come
Which,
on.
weirdly enough, I do remember him more for Chelsea.
It
Annoyingly,
was Chelsea, wasn't it? He went
Yeah,
to,
I
they
annoyingly
paid his
I
release
remember.
clause.
Yeah. All right, Denver Bar, great shout. And then who have we got?
You have to finish off with Shearer.
Yeah.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
special shout out to Ebafemi Martins.
Yeah, well, we were saying 90 on Pro Evo and FIFA. He'd always have 99 speed,
my
and he'd always be
gosh.
21. He was 21 for 17 years.
Yeah.
So you know,
And his
big up.
strength as well. You know, he was
He
amazing.
was
But-
strong. He was like he had no neck like
Yeah.
me. I haven't got a neck. No,
You're
but
pretty strong.
Yeah, like I'm pretty strong. I've
Yeah.
got like I've got that kind of Mike Tyson kind. I don't know what I'm
Like
doing.
Red
there.
Hulk.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It has.
Do
It
you,
does
do you
help.
still play?
What? Football. I thought you said you still play the Hulk, and I was like, well, no, that's why I'm wearing green. I'm trying to get fucking casted. I now and again, I know you do, but Paul's fucking sick.
Well,
I've
no,
heard
it's
you're.
not.
I've never seen you play. You might
We
be
could
shit.
put an Adopted Geordie's five-a-side together, you know?
No, I describe myself as a right-footed Leon Best. A Nile Ranger. if
And
you
no
will.
one has ever said that sentence before in their life.
Do you know what? No, I
Sadie.
remember.
No,
So
what I mean by that
niche.
is I'm not
he's sick, trust me, he's
particularly good at anything. There's nothing in particular where I stand out. I'm overall decent, you know.
Right, but what positions do you play?
Striker.
You're strike. Oh yeah,
That's good. We need someone to score.
Okay,
I remember
I'll be a
watching
good
Leon
little
Best.
defensive mid. I think just sitting back, pinging the balls up. Where are you
All right.
playing? You play right back, innit?
Well, I can if you want.
No, where are you playing?
I largely play in midfield.
Are you midfield?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, like
Centre
a
mid,
midfield
defensive
player.
It
mid.
depends on the fitness
Paul up
levels,
front.
right? If I'm having a fat day, I'll play right back.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling like I've got some energy, I'll go in midfield and.
I
try and
might
pull
just
the stress.
stay off for the whole game and only come on for free kicks.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
Is that
I like
right?
that.
Yep. that
Basically,
Yeah.
a glory hunter.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a I'll do my Roberto Carlos
You boys
one
do
up
the running.
and Sky into row F. Okay, so I think that is a really good top 11.
It's a
It's
fun
a niche.
11.
It's a niche top 11. I just want to stress this
respect
is
it.
not. This is not. The best team we've ever had. But I just think in terms of personalities and
I like
and
it.
servitude for the club.
And you know what?
yeah.
It reflects you and your
Exactly, that's
personality.
exactly it,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's definitely
Loyal,
my-
a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a bit
100%,
quirky.
yeah.
But I like it. And French. It's pretty French.
Well, not that many
Zogbia.
And
French.
Zogbia's in there, Kabaye's in
Kabay.
there, Ben Arfa's in there.
Ben Arfa. It's pretty
Yeah.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good French players.
We've had a lot of French players. Well,
Well, there
we
was a
had a
time
French
where we
day,
had,
didn't we? You know, French cuisine was being served and all the
Yeah,
rest of it.
we had like 9 or 8 or 9 starting 11 who was French at one point.
Wow.
When
Yeah, we
Debussy
had a
was
lot.
playing and Kabay.
Well, we also
Right,
we also
right.
had so
Nouveau
we had,
Chateau, they'd called us.
that's right. Well, we at the same time as Gouffran, and we had
Yeah.
Sylvain Marveau. Do you remember? He was,
Yeah.
and he never he had
God,
so much
God,
potential, and he never lived up.
Yeah.
For me, he was like a reincarnation of Emre. Do you remember Emre?
Oh, Emre.
You know,
But didn't Emre turn out to be a shit? Then he'd do
What, you
some
mean
weird
as a
stuff.
person?
As a person.
I don't know, man. Did he?
Maybe that's someone else. But yeah, I did like Emre. I
That's
think
a
I think he
shame.
did. I think he did. I remember reading something. But
Oh, what
but
a
yeah, I think he's weird. But he was a good player. He was a good player.
You know, and that's what
Emre.
I thought Marvo was going to be like. You know, because they were similar
Yeah,
build,
yeah,
that kind
absolutely.
of small
Little,
stature,
yeah.
but with some skill, with some
love
talent.
those.
Some really
Unpick
good
the
men.
whole.
You know,
but-
when I create a player on like Pro Evo or FIFA, I create myself, but I create myself as like a 4'10" player with like really low center of gravity. Yeah, I want to create
Yeah.
like, and with a big ponytail and then red boots. I don't know why I always create. And I call him. I don't even call him my name. I call him like something else, like Solomon or something. And he just like you just create a. But I love those kind of players. They're kind of short, a little bit fat. Low center of
stocky.
gravity, like Maradona.
No, you have
He's a
the
bit
stocky
chubby.
option on
Bit
FIFA.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can. A bit stocky. So they've got that strength, but they're quick.
Yeah.
Low to the ground. You know, like Messi, Maradona,
Yeah.
all these kind. Those are my favorite types of players. You know?
Okay.
Um,
We don't really have anyone like that in the.
I'm
in the
thinking.
squad at
I'm
the
thinking.
moment,
Ben
you know.
Arfa's not that.
Not at all, no.
Maxi,
But thank you,
maybe.
Thank you for that, though.
What?
Your who you built on Pro Evo for telling us that.
Oh yeah, no. No, I mean that's
It's a
just.
touch. It's a touch.
It's a weird thing, but yeah.
Paul, I have a
love to do
question
that.
for you because
Yeah.
I'm enjoying. I like the 11. I like.
I
what
love
you've
the
done there.
11.
That's
I
fun.
think it's
Very
sick.
niche.
I have a question for you, and I want you to think carefully about this one.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be any Newcastle player,
Ooh.
So I'm talking about what they did on the field and off the field. If you could live their lives, it's quantum leap. You step in, you're Sam, right? You step into their life from any period in history that you've watched the team. Which player would you choose to be?
Oh, good question.
Wow, that's a really good question. Nile Ranger.
Wow.
It's what I've written down. He's going to say Nile Ranger.
He's going to say Nile Ranger.
Yeah.
He's a wrong one.
And the non-obvious choice?
I feel like Ginola probably had the best lifestyle outside of football, right?
Yeah. He probably got gyal. He definitely got some prime. And
I
that's
think he's still got a good life.
Around that time, it was like the girls that had like the kind of square asses. Do you know what I mean? Like the long jeans. No, like, there was a time in like the early kind of noughties when it wasn't really about girls having big bums, but having long bums. I reckon I got some of that long bum gyal.
Maybe.
Is that weird?
Hang on,
Paul
wants to be
6.
Ginola because you think he'll get girls with long bottoms.
That's
basically. I was thinking of the hair mostly, and just
what, on the bum? Oh, sorry. Just loads of hair on a long bum. Sorry, it got weird. Yeah, the hair was because I'm what's it? L'Oreal. Yeah.
And he was kind of
enjoy the journey.
Also, it wasn't a popular era where football players, athletes would do products, into endorsement deals and stuff like that. He was one of the first.
He had the L'Oreal going on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Probably was.
I just think his life outside of football was probably amazing. So I'd probably choose, and classy. Played for France as well.
Did he smoke like 40 fags a day?
He
was
certainly
he like
smoked.
Zidane vibes?
He smoked, and he loves his wine. He knows an awful lot. It's one of the greatest days of my life. Was I had the privilege of having lunch with Ginola because we were we were kind of pitching a TV project
go on
together.
About meeting Bruno and Joe Linton once and shaking their hands.
Well, what was really cool is so we were there. And we were pitching this TV idea, and his agent said, "Well, come on, it's time to meet David then." So he came along, and we were having this lunch, and I was straight in. I was honest with him. I was like, "I think I saw every goal you scored live. I think I was there. I think I saw." And he was like, so we started talking about it, and we started getting on really well. And he starts telling me about wine. He knows loads about wine, and he's ordering the wine. And then his agents and people and all left leave, and it's just the two of us. And we had 4 or 5 hours of just, it was.
Where's this going?
We were just in this bar, like restaurant and bar.
Room.
Mate, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. That really sounded like you ended up fucking him. Sorry, but the way you built that story up, and they left, and we were just vibing,
and we just watched Notting Hill.
The wine was. He got the L'Oreal out.
That's why I was asking about kissing with tongues earlier.
And he told me about all the long bum girls that he had in the 90s, and I was like, let me get some of that.
Wait, did you not know this?
No, you did tell me that you had lunch with David Ginola.
Okay, but I can confirm.
I don't know that he fucked him.
I did not have sex.
You didn't have sex with David Ginola. I did not have sex.
I'm trying to get him to come on the show. If he watches it now, he's
going
to be like, no.
I think you already came.
Again?
Am I right? Again? No, that's a weird story. Well, no, it's not. I made it weird.
Brilliant.
I made it weird.
I'm so jealous.
That is an amazing
story. I'll tell you what was weird.
Was he lovely?
He was amazing. Right. He was everything you want him to be. They say, "Oh, never meet your heroes." Well, in his case, I've met a few heroes, and some of them are very disappointing.
Well,
Asim doesn't let down. You don't.
Yeah.
And Ginola is everything you want him to be. He's fantastic. He's great company. He's also asks you questions as well. You know what I mean? It's not just about him. He was amazing. But what was really weird is, so I left that. I was quite drunk at this point. And I left and I'm just on like cloud 9 going, oh my God. And I'm calling my sister who was, oh my God, that was amazing. I ran into Derek Lambias when he was running the club, right? I literally ran into Derek Lambias. And it was when I think we had a European game, right? So it must have been, my memory is shocking, but it must have been Pardew as manager, right? And I was like, I'm a massive fan of Newcastle. Are you guys putting it right? And he was, to be fair, and I was, because I'd had a few drinks, I wasn't confrontational.
I'm a massive fan of Newcastle. Are you guys putting it right?
Yeah. But I was like, I've just been with Ginola. We've been talking about the state of the club. are you guys going to do it? Are you going to get it right, kind of thing? And he was very much kind of like, we know we have to get it right. We know we have to do the right thing. But I mean, obviously it was all guff. But I mean, at the time, I felt like I'd had the greatest Newcastle day ever because when I was getting the train home, I was thinking, right, hang on, I've just been with the love of my life, and then I've met the guy that's running the club, and he says they're going to do the business.
Wow.
So that was an amazing day.
Do you know what it made me think? It made me think of the worst Newcastle day I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
I'm ashamed to admit this, but I was a teenager and I was watching Newcastle Arsenal on the television with my friend who's an Arsenal fan, and we were getting thrashed 4-0 at half-time.
Oh, you gave up?
No.
Oh no, you didn't give up.
We already know.
Guys, it's the
You didn't
only
give
game
up.
I've ever done that in my
Wait,
entire
you
life.
left?
I left. I was furious. This was back in the day where like football would ruin my whole weekend.
4-0,
I was so passionate, and there was no hope of coming back on that,
No,
in that first half.
no.
Like, we were terrible.
Yeah.
I left.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I
Stacked it.
missed.
You stacked it.
You missed that Czech Tiote,
Yeah,
rest
Czech
in
Tiote
peace,
goal.
equalizer. Wow, which I think is
I'm
the
ashamed
greatest
to this day.
No, but
I'm a
you know
very
what?
old man, and I still have
you can let that go
PTSD
because
about
I feel like 4-0. Like, what are you, a sadist? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like for the next half, I mean, second
yes.
half, you are.
I
a
am.
sadist. You are. Yeah. Well, I can
yeah.
tell you picked fucking Stephen Taylor for your centre back. No, but that's insane. But no, I think it's understandable, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Now, Paul,
I've never. Yeah,
You've never
I never
lived it.
stopped watching a game since.
so you've
Lots
that's
of
one
tears.
confession.
Yeah.
There is something else we do. We are honor bound to question you on. Okay. We've both done a little bit of surfing on your Instagram page. It's many lovely images on there.
Yeah.
However,
a lot with your top off, mate.
There's a lot with your top off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's how I first met you. We both have tits, but different types of tits.
yeah.
But and
The long and the
it needs to be asked, right?
Yes.
There's none of you in a Newcastle top. However, there are several photos of you in a Liverpool top.
What's that about, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What's that about?
I'll happily come to that. But no, I thought you were going to say there's some of you on Twitter because I featured on the Full Kit Wanker website wearing a whole Newcastle kit.
Did
know
you?
what's- Yeah.
We
And
have
you know
not
what's
done
so sad about that is that I was, I don't know, 14 years old, 15, which by the way, it was weird a full kit wanker as opposed to a teenage boy.
yeah, kids are allowed to be full kit wankers.
Yeah.
They're not even
Anyway,
wanking.
And I saw the tweet, the post by the official page, and I felt so proud.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
like,
proud.
Too right.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah.
All right, that
Yeah,
counts. Out.
absolutely.
Can you quickly
So
explain
I
the
can't
Liverpool
believe
thing
that.
then? Because
Absolutely.
I know there's a reason for it. Because
There
I know,
must be a reason.
I know
There is.
Paul bleeds black and white. So
Yes.
go on.
No, it was for a photo shoot, and the photographer gave me a Liverpool kit. He had various ones, no Newcastle ones, and obviously as a joke said I wouldn't wear it, and I had to. Got a call by my agent, and it's like you're
Contractual.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, there's
I mean, that's tough.
But if so that picture of you full kit wanker,
Yeah.
is that a picture that someone is it your picture? Could we maybe put it up on the screen when we're is it your
I can
14-year-old Paul? I mean, I
can
don't
try
think we should.
Find it for you, Asim.
Okay, maybe we'll just see it privately. Or guys, you can check on Twitter. It's out. We missed it.
Okay, we
so
missed
you,
it.
you
Yeah,
can
I
check
thought,
it
I
out.
thought you were bringing that up.
No, it was the Liverpool.
I
mean,
love that.
Yeah, it was the Liverpool.
Proud.
Just
That's a proud
because
full
I
kit
felt
wanker.
I was disappointed for you.
Absolutely.
But I also thought,
As you
I
should be.
don't think
I'm actually surprised that's.
But what did I say to you, Andy? I said there's
You
a
said
reason
there'll be a
for it.
reason for
I
it.
said there's
Yeah.
a reason.
No,
Paul's a good.
it's on your Instagram, man. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Really? Okay,
mate.
right, fair enough. Yeah,
Maybe
that's
you
on me
should
then.
take it
Yeah,
off.
but it's good you
I
explained it to any other potential Geordies who would see it. They can understand now.
Yeah.
Paul's a real one, guys. Paul is a real one. And
Yeah,
can I just say, like, what an incredible insight into another Adopted Geordie. It's very different from
brilliant
us.
fun.
That's what everyone's got their own relationship to Newcastle, how they found Newcastle. And I think Paul's the one word I would say about Paul after this chat, loyalty.
Loyalty.
The guy's
Absolutely.
loyal, man.
Yeah,
The man put Stephen Taylor and Jonas Gutierrez
Yeah.
in his all-time 11. I mean,
I got a lot of time for that.
Absolutely.
that's it's like when you see a good-looking guy with like a really ugly girl, or an ugly girl with a really good-looking guy. It shows that they've got something about them. They're not just about the prestige, the external.
Yeah.
There's something deeper.
There's depth.
There's depth there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. When you support Newcastle for a long time as well.
You're used to buzz
naturally-
girls.
Yeah. You're used to buzz.
You naturally like ugly girls with long asses.
You're used to
That's the
defeats
niche.
and.
But I say
heavy
this to
things,
Andy as well. It grounds you, doesn't it? Because we're not used
Absolutely.
to like we love the underdog. We love the fight, and that's what life is about.
Every
so it's
aspect
like,
of my life is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
You're a
like
fighter.
You,
I mean, acting is
it's the
filled
same
with
thing.
rejection and failure.
It's the
Like
same
that's
thing. It's the same themes.
100%. And it makes the victories even sweeter.
Absolutely.
And we've established as well that we're going to try and get you and Ashley to a game.
Oh, we'll do it.
Yes,
at St James's Park
please.
this season. Does she
Yeah.
come over
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
UK
I
much?
would do that. It'd be a great
Okay.
night out in the Toon, Pop World. But Paul, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you
on,
for
mate.
having me.
Pleasure,
Honestly,
man.
That was such a
I know
pleasure.
you came from the airport. I know you're hanging. So really appreciate it, mate. And really enjoyed
pleasure
your
being
insight into being another
great.
adopted Geordie. Thank you
you.
so much.
Class, mate.
Paul Forman!
Paul
Hey!
You've been watching or listening to The Adopted Geordies, brought to you by BetMGM. I've been Andy J. He's been Asim Chowdhury. He's been Paul Forman. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
The Adopted Geordies. The Adopted Geordies. We got Andy J, we got the Baldy. Together we are the Adopted Geordies.